This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 926, New Year's Resolutions for Spoonies, by Melani Schweder of abrighterwild.com. And I'm your host, Dr. Neil. Hey there, happy Monday, and welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, where I act as your narrator of the best health and fitness blogs, all for free. And we have 5 shows where we do this, covering a bunch of different topics. Just search for Optimal Living Daily in any podcast app to find them. So if you're in the U.S. and you happen to have a Super Bowl gathering yesterday, I hope you've recovered fully now. And like I always say, if you went overboard yesterday with pizza and wings and maybe a little bit too much alcohol, forget about it and get back to your normal, hopefully more healthy routine. Maybe you set that New Year's resolution and the Super Bowl party yesterday threw you off a little bit. Well, today's post will get you right back on track. So let's get right to it and start optimizing your life. New Year's Resolutions for Spoonies by Melani Schweder of abrighterwild.com. The annual fitness and self-improvement craze is officially upon us, and I'm not sure about you, but I'm already tired of it. The endless Fitspo and dieting posts are clogging up my newsfeed, and the blogging world is overcrowded with articles about the latest nutrition fads and exercise challenges. And while I absolutely support anyone who is genuinely trying to take better care of themselves, the whole unrealistic January rush really leaves much to be desired, especially for the chronically ill. Now, if you happen to live in a fitness-obsessed state like I do, hello, Colorado, you're probably used to feeling left out because your energy levels don't allow for things like rock climbing and triathlons. And if you're anything like me, you're not really able to take part in training for a 10K or doing the latest exercise challenge that your friends are tagging on Pinterest. This time of year can be especially rough for a spoonie or someone with a chronic disease, and our usual routines of sweatpants, reading, and Netflix are looked upon with more condescension in these first few weeks of January. But I understand not wanting to be left out. After all, setting resolutions or intentions for the coming year is a positive habit that we can all take part in. So, if you're struggling to set aside the unrealistic messages of six-pack abs or boot camp gym memberships, I have a few suggestions for some healthy goals for this year. Feel free to adopt these as your own, modify them, or ignore them completely. New Year's resolutions are about you and what makes you feel better, not what makes your friends feel better, and certainly not about what looks good on Instagram, right? Suggestion 1. Drink more water. Yes, I know this one shows up on a lot of people's lists, but that's probably because as a society, we are all chronically dehydrated. Drink a fresh glass when you wake up, keep a cool bottle nearby all day, sip on some when you're feeling cranky or we're outside too long, which is super important for those with POTS or postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Our bodies thrive on fresh, clean water, and it will help everything run more smoothly. Buy yourself a fancy new water bottle if that makes it easier. And of course, whenever you can, swap in a glass of water instead of soda, juice, milk, or coffee. Suggestion 2. Take up a new hobby. Bonus points if you can do it from the couch. Many spoonies spend a lot of time lounging. That's why we drop mad money on yoga pants, slippers, and Kindle books. But it does tend to get boring, and it's great to have something new and engaging that won't sap your energy. Look around at cool new things to try that don't require a huge investment, and play around with one or two. Try drawing, crochet, origami, making little felt animals, or creating your own handmade greeting cards. Maybe you want to learn another language or master Sudoku puzzles. Hobbies don't have to be extreme to be worthwhile. Suggestion 3. Put down your electronics a little more. I admit, I used to be in the bad habit of staring at my phone for at least 20 to 30 minutes before I went to sleep, and then again first thing in the morning. But just in the last week, I challenged myself to break that habit and instead revel in the quiet or do a bit of meditation. And I have to say, I feel a lot better. My sleep improved, my morning productivity improved, and my brain doesn't feel as taxed. I know many of us like to stay uber connected and involved in the more exciting world online, but it's worth it to take more breaks from those tiny blue screens. Suggestion 4. Try a new way to self-care. Nurturing yourself and being your best advocate is super important for everyone, but especially for the chronically ill. And sometimes our self-care routines get stale. So now's your chance to mix it up. Depending on your abilities and income, this can be anything from treating yourself to a weekly massage to learning how to do an at-home tennis ball massage. Try out dry brushing or oil pulling, or splurge on some nice bath bubbles. Maybe you want to sign up on Yoga Glow and try out some easy classes, or buy an acupressure mat to relieve pain and improve your sleep. You never know what new thing can make you feel better. Suggestion 5. Make one new friend. I know, putting yourself out there is hard when you don't have much energy to spare. It's even harder if you're an introvert on top of everything else. Trust me, I get it. But it's really important to have a strong social support system, and new friends can be a great part of that. Nowadays, it's relatively easy to meet new people, so pick one new group to join or one new coworker to ask out for coffee. Check out places like Meetup, Facebook groups, or even the flyers at your doctor's office or yoga studio to connect with like-minded people. Suggestion 6. Clean out your space. I recently wrote about the healing powers of minimalism, and I've heard such affirming things from people about how it really does work. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed by a full pare down, but start small, perhaps with just your sock drawer. Throughout the year, commit to going through everything that you own and tossing, donating, or recycling everything you don't want, need, wear, or care about. You'll be amazed at how much lighter and fresher you'll feel to get rid of all of that weight. Suggestion 7. Be nicer to yourself. The self-punishing language is at an all-time high during this season. So here's your official invitation to opt out. Don't beat yourself up about eating that donut or taking an entire day to lay on the couch and watch trash TV. In our culture's endless quest to self-perfect, most of us get left in the dust, wondering why we're so, insert negative appraisal here, and why we can't get our together. Well, here's the kicker. You are perfect and worthy just the way you are. It's not your fault you're sick. It's okay that the new meds you're on made you gain 10 pounds. Tack up some positive affirmations on your bathroom mirror, start a gratitude journal, and start paying closer attention to the negative self-dialogue you use. Because when you start thinking better about yourself, naturally, you will start acting in accordance. So here you are, my fellow Spoonies, 7 lovely little resolutions to make this year better, and without a shred of kale in sight. You just listened to the post titled New Year's Resolutions for Spoonies by Melani Schweder of abrighterwild.com. Dr. Neil here for my commentary. As a fellow Spoonie or someone with a chronic disease, I could absolutely relate to these moments when we don't have the most energy to go out there and conquer the world and get in that workout or eat exactly as we should. But what was so great about Melani's post is that this could apply to anyone. Even if you don't have a chronic condition, you can use so many of these suggestions. You don't need a chronic disease to give yourself permission to be nicer to yourself, for example. You don't have to have a chronic disease to eat that donut or take an entire day to sit on the couch and watch TV. We all deserve that every now and then. But again, when we talk about these types of suggestions, we're not saying that you should do that every day. Instead, these are special days. These are for those days when you've been working so hard all week to stay on track, you've been working out, you've been watching what you've eaten, and you feel really good about it, but today you're just not feeling your best and you just need to give yourself a break. That's great. You can do that every now and then. So in the case of yesterday, for those of us in the US that watched the Super Bowl, if yesterday was one of those days where you were kind of lounging around and maybe didn't follow the most nutritious diet, that doesn't mean today should be another day just like that. Today might be a day to get back on track. And getting back on track doesn't mean you've got to go in for that crazy workout at the gym or only eat salad today. Maybe it's just one of Melani's suggestions. Maybe today you just drink more water, that you're more conscious today about how much water you're drinking. Or today is that one day you take that coworker out to some coffee. Or if you're back at the office, today's the day you clean out some of that space. If you take the time today to just do one of those things, it will keep you on track because you're going to feel so good about doing that one thing, it's going to give you momentum. All right, that'll do it from me for today. I hope you have a wonderful start to your week, and I'll see you back here tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.